Y'all miss me? So I've been gone for a while. I updates. I kind of just up and moved my life from Japan back in August. I found out I got into nursing school, and so within about a week, I moved all the way from Iwakuni, Japan back to Florida. And yeah, so I've been kind of MIA because I've been busy studying for school, which has been a fun trip in itself. I've really enjoyed it so far, but I haven't been able to read a whole lot, so yeah, it's a fun little update video, I guess. I found out August 9th, I believe, that I got into nursing school, and classes were going to start on the 19th, so I had 10 days to figure out whether or not I was going to basically pick up my life and move, go long distance with my husband again, figure out kind of like where I was going to live, because I'm like away from family, but thankfully my in-laws are letting me live with them for now. But yeah, then I had to like figure out, I was supposed to start working that Monday, so I found out on Friday, and I was supposed to report for work on Monday, and I had to go to them on that Friday and be like, I'm going to school, I'm going back to America, I'm so sorry, but like I have to do this for myself. So I had been trying to get into nursing school for a little while, at least like the process of starting. This was the first time I had applied, and I didn't think I was gonna get in. So I had taken the ATITs, which is a exam most nursing schools make their potential students take, and I did really well on it. I studied for like months because I had been so far removed from the academic world. So I had to reteach myself how to do basic math. I forgot the formula for y equals mx plus b. I forgot which xy coordinates. I forgot which is which. It was really, really bad. Because if you don't use it, you lose it, and I lost it, and I lost my mind in the process too, probably. So I took that back in February after studying for a while. And then I had to take a couple classes that I didn't take in college. I had taken, most in Florida, you had to take like Anatomy 1, Anatomy 2, Psych or Sociology, I think Bio 1 is one that you have to take, Microbiology, Nutrition, Developmental Psych, and I think there's a couple other classes that I'm just not remembering right now. But I had taken all of them except for microbio and nutrition and developmental psych, so I had to go take a couple online classes to get those done, and my microbio class sucked so hard. Oh my gosh, my professor was awful. I have never in my life had an online class be as chaotic as it was, and I have taken most of my bachelor's degree was online, and the entirety of my master's degree was online, and it was hands down the worst experience of my life. And I feel like I can say that because I have a degree and a half worth of online classes that I've done. So I took those, and then I had applied to a couple programs, and I didn't meet a lot of the requirements because I was still in a couple of classes, so those developmental psych classes. And then I found out like August 9th that, oh yeah, you actually got into this program, and my husband had gone to work already, and so I called him and I was like, I can do this. But I kind of figured like we'd wait till January when we moved back to Florida, that would be the application cycle that I applied for, so for spring 25 instead of this. But I just figured, you know, if I can do it, I can do it. If not, then like at least I tried. But like I wasn't like entirely going to be upset if I couldn't start in August, but I ended up getting into school. So that was really fun. I have missed my husband a whole lot. We've been long distance before, obviously, he's in the military. So our entire relationship when we were dating was long distance. He was in South Carolina and I was in Florida. So we saw each other a lot, but this is the first time that like, this was the longest we've gone without seeing each other. We went almost 4 months without seeing each other. Even when he was deployed and whatever on the boat, I would like go see him sometimes. Whenever he would port in like Singapore or whatever, I'd pop on a plane and go see him for a couple days. Or he'd go on the boat for a little bit and they'd come back home for a couple weeks and then head back out on the boat. So this was the first time that it was like 4 months and plus the time difference, so we weren't like able to talk too much. So that kind of sucked, but I mean, it's the life we live and the life we chose to do, and it is what it is. So with that being said, I haven't been reading a whole lot. I read a whopping 2 books in the month of September. I haven't done that in like ever, just so everyone knows that. Yeah, for me, that's really bad. I know for some people will be like, oh, I wish I could read 2 books in a month, like that's awesome. For me, that's terrible. And I mean, I guess it was just a huge learning curve for me when I first started school. So I wasn't able to read a whole lot. I gotten really into nonfiction books this year, and I just could not with like reading a textbook and then turning around and reading a nonfiction book for fun. I just could not get behind it. And I still enjoy reading nonfiction. I've read a couple since I've been out of school for our break. But other than that, I have been really bad at reading. Well, I've been on break. Let's see, what have I read? I read the first book in Psycho Shifters. It was really entertaining. I actually liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. The only thing that I think I ended up giving it like 4.5 stars. The only thing that I really don't like about that book is the fact that the female main character kept being like, I'm so tiny and petite, and it was giving Fourth Wing in that aspect, and I was just like, ugh, I'm over this, stop it. But once we kind of got over it, like, it was fun. I had a good time reading it. I read Fang Fiction, which was also really fun. I think I gave that one like 4 stars. So basically the premise is like, there's this very popular book series, but this based on vampires, but like it ends up being real. So one of the main characters just kind of like ends up on Earth and in the human world, and the female main character has to kind of figure out like how to get this other character back there. And I thought it was good. There were a couple different romances in it, so that was really fun. I liked I can't even remember their names, but the 2 females who fall in love, I end up liking their story a little bit more. So yeah. What else have I read recently? I'm trying to think. I read The Rise and Fall of Dinosaurs. That was one book I picked up while I was in San Diego for a little bit. I was in the airport for like 10 hours. So I read that, and it was really interesting. Basically, it's about how dinosaurs came to be, and like, you know, how their little hierarchy, and how they disappeared from Earth and what happened afterwards. And we have modern day dinosaurs, which are, you know, birds. So that was fun. That was a good read. Let's see, what else have I read recently? I have started Gold by Raven Kennedy. I'm like 100 pages into it, and I picked it up like 2 weeks ago, and then I haven't picked it up again since. I don't know why. I just haven't really been kind of bad at reading. Oh, I ended up reading Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant, and I didn't realize this, but this is the same author who wrote Every Heart a Doorway. And so, fantastic series. It's probably one of my fave series ever, and I absolutely loved this book. I had tried reading it on my phone a couple years ago, and I wasn't into it. I don't know if I just wasn't in the right mindset. I'm big on having a physical book when it's kind of like fantasy-esque. But basically these are about the mermaids of the Mariana Trench, and they're violent mermaids, and oh my god, it was so good and gory, and just, I don't know, it just hit really well, and I really just enjoyed it. What else have I read? I read Taming 7 by Chloe Walsh. I really enjoyed that one too. I love Gibbsy so much. He's one of my favorite characters ever. I just think he's so funny and like sunshine, despite everything he's been through and going through. I absolutely adore him. So that was a really good one. I've read Toxic Love by Jaeger Cole. I like this one a lot too. Basically, this is about a mafia lord who is trying to marry this one girl. So the male main character is trying to marry the female main character aunt for alliance purposes. She's really young, but he like doesn't really want anything to do with her, so it's not like weird, okay? And then the female main character ends up tricking the main character into marrying her instead of the aunt, who is like 18, 19, 20. So that way the aunt can kind of have like a life and not be like strapped down to this guy who's a lot older than her. But the catch is that this female main character is dying. And the twist in this book, I did not see it coming. I actually really liked this one. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I will probably continue on with the series. It was just really fun and entertaining read. So if you like mafia books, I recommend this one. It was really, really good. I also picked up The Striker while I was on 10 Million Airplanes last week in San Diego, by Anna Huan. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. So this is about a soccer player. I know nothing about soccer, just so we're clear, but it's based in England, and the female main character is a ballerina, and her brother is like enemies with the main male character, Asher, I think is his name, Asher. I love a good sports romance. I really did like this one. The only thing is that I didn't really understand why the two were enemies, because they were on the same team. So I didn't really get like why they were enemies. It's not like they were on opposite teams or fighting for the same, like, I didn't really get their dynamic. I really did like Asher and Scarlett. She's a ballerina and she's going through a lot, she got into an accident and is kind of just trying to figure out what she wants in life, but she's teaching. So I really liked her point of view on things. And I had a good time reading it. It was a fun read. Entertaining while I was stuck in an airport for 20 hours, I swear. I really have like goals for next year, reading wise. Normally I like to say my goal is 10 books a month. I feel like that's a good starting point for me. So it gives me about 120 books a year. But with being in school and just the workload I have and starting with clinicals and all that fun stuff, I think I might try to just read 5 books a month. I feel like that's a good like set point for me. Besides in September when I only read 2 books, I've read like this month alone, it's like the 19th, 20th right now, I've read 11 books. The other couple months that I've been reading, I read like 7 books. It looks like I read in November. I read 8 books in October. So I think I will be okay. I don't have a ton of breaks like I do this month. So, like I have a week for spring break. I have a week between my summer and fall term. I have a couple days for Thanksgiving, and then I have like the month of December off, which is nice. We'll kind of see what happens next year. I try to be really open-minded with my reading goals and not try to be so hard on myself, because I do this because I love doing it. It's not like I don't really track how much I read. Like I'm not like, oh, I have to read 10 minutes every day, or I have to read for an hour every day. I just do it when I'm stressed or when I need the relief, or I need to be doing something. Again, I do it because I enjoy it and I love it. Other books I've read are Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I ended up giving that one 5 stars. That was a really, really good book. I greatly loved it. It's about a travel nurse and her mom has like bipolar disorder, so she's dealing with that, and she was in like the foster system. And then I really liked her point of view, and both the characters have this curse where every person they date ends up finding like their true love afterwards. So the point is that they're going to date each other and then break up, and then they will find their true loves, but of course they fall in love with each other. And then I also read The Art Thief, which is a nonfiction book about this guy who stole a ton of art from museums with his like fiance girlfriend, and yeah. And it just made me realize how easy it is to steal from museums. It was a really fast, really short read. Pretty entertaining. they like can't understand why this guy was doing it, because he was just kind of like doing it for the heck of it. Like, there was no catch all be all for him. He was just doing it because he wanted it. He wanted the art in his house and had his attic full of art pieces. So I thought it was pretty fun. I mean, not fun, don't steal art from museums, but like the amount of times that like security would stop them and like talk to them and then just let them go, and they had like thousands of dollars worth of art in their bags or like on them. It was just really crazy to read about. And of course they all got caught, and it was just really interesting, so I had a good time reading it. I heard this dad joke the other day about stealing art, and it's I was at an art museum the other day and I was taking a photo off the wall, and a security guard stopped me, and I was confused because I asked the security guard if I could take a photo and he had said yes. That's so dumb, but whatever. I don't know. I saw him on TikTok. Go figure. Okay. Well, that's a life update from me, and a book update. One big book update from the last 4 months. I hope to film a couple more videos over break so I can kind of stack them up. And then I hope to keep trying to film as I'm in school. Let me know if any of you guys are also nurses or in nursing school, if you have advice for trying to read while you're in school, because that's a new struggle that I've been dealing with, is trying to read while I'm in school. I haven't been able to do it too much. But I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you soon. Goodbye.